Hey my friends, welcome back. We're finishing up the Paris. It needs one more day of racing. So we will, it's loading right now, give it a second. Which is annoying because I think I have to do 2 or 3 races right now just so I can upgrade it, but I'll win a bunch of money, so it'll be worth it. But this will be the last of what I need to do, and then we will have on camera chosen a car and then upgraded it all the way together, so it'll be our completed car that only I can drive. Uh-oh. You ever been playing a racing game and you hit a wall or something and you just completely unrealistically, you're flying out of control, you're spinning through the air, you're doing you're spinning around 3 or 4 times a second in the air. That's always really funny to me. That's the kind of thing I would put on Virtual Garage. That's one thing I like to do with Virtual Garage is I realized there was a lot of jokes that are relatable in a racing game. So I like to add those jokes into my episodes because they're jokes that we can all relate to. We've all been playing a racing game and then something like that happens. A tremendous crash or we cheated, we did something we really weren't supposed to be doing. We crossed over this giant patch of not road. And that's always funny. Like right here, and I completely cheated right there, but it worked for me. Oh, come on. Trying to think if there's any behind the scenes stuff I can tell you about the channel that you may not know. I bet that would be interesting. Let me think of a good one. I mean, I can think of one, but I don't want to tell you that one. Let's see. I've already said a few things, so I have to come up with something new and unique that you guys wouldn't know. Now I have to come up with something. I've been talking about it for half a minute. I actually have no background in theater. My channel is very theatrical. For example, at the beginning of every Can It Mario, I like to tell some sort of joke. I'm a funny guy. So, but I actually have no background in theater or anything like that. I watch a lot of TV, or I used to. I still watch a decent amount of TV, or in this case, Netflix and Hulu. Well, I don't have Hulu in subscription. I'm just talking in general. Netflix and Hulu are the two dominant forces of television, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, nothing like that. I'm just very detail oriented. I have certain rules that I use that I don't break, like when I make a virtual garage, I try to only use one track. So if I choose a car, I'll choose a car to review, and then I will only play on that one track. I won't play that car any other track, no matter what. And the reasoning for that is that I don't want to use up all of the turns, you know? So if I was to do the opposite, if I was to take a car and just go on every track that I think would be advantageous and take up all the turns, you know, there's only so many angles the game lets me shoot these turns up. I mean, there's a bunch of angles, but there's only a limited number. So I will only I was not watching right there. I will only I'll only do it on one track. And the reasoning for that, I mean, I kind of explained it just now, but I don't want to use up all the turns. I don't want to find myself in a place where I can almost repair the car all the way. Anyway, I don't want to be in a place where I've used up all the turns. I've done all the things. And I think that's one of those details that if I had not figured that out, that would have a chance to ruin the episode, right? Or ruin the show, because I've used all the turns. I could use all the turns potentially in like 3 or 4 episodes. But if I parse it out, if I pace myself, then I think I will have much more success. So that's one thing you guys probably didn't know about the channel that I do. I also, for Virtual Garage, when I try to get shots for the episodes, excuse me a second, I need more water. So when I try to get shots of the car for the show, I'll race around the track, whatever track I've chosen for the car, and then I will, as I'm racing, like, this is the only efficient way to do it, right? So as I'm racing, I'll be like, oh, that turn was awesome, and then I'll immediately pause the game, I'll save the replay, I'll go back and I'll look at it, and I'll look at it a bunch of different angles, and then I'll say, after the replay has been saved, I'll put a notation down for what camera angle it is and what the timestamp is in the replay is. So, and then after I do that, I will go back to that track, pick the car back up, race around again. And when I see another turn that I like, pause the game, save the replay, go back, see if I can find a good shot, and then keep doing that until I have enough shots for the episode. Because if I was to just race around, and I do that a little bit, I'll race around, I'll drive around for a couple minutes. At the end, when I've gotten about as many shots as I can, I will race around and then go through, several laps and take shots from that. But if I was to just like record countless shots, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes worth of shots, and have to go through it and not even necessarily have all the shots I need, it would take me an eternity. So I try to do that, and I try to think like, okay, well, I got a shot in that corner, and that was cool. Can I do that corner again? Maybe I should go for a different corner. Maybe I should go for this straightaway. Maybe I should drift. Maybe, and then I will, and then I'll do that. I'll try all these different things. It would take me forever to just race and then record the footage. It's the only way I can get it done in a reasonable amount of time, So that's something you guys surely didn't know. A lot of it's about the time you spend, right? So I'll give you a little secret that I figured out. If you have some sort of live show, like pretend you do Game Chasers isn't a good example, but pretend you're like Lazy Game Reviews, or you're Pat the NES Punk, and you do like thrift shopping as your channel. You go places and then you purchase things and then you air it. The best advice I can give you is to do something similar to what I was just talking about. So you go to where you're going to go. You record everything, but then the moment that something happens, you need to be self-aware. So if something interesting happens and you want it for the episode, you make a notation in your notes, and then you save where you are in the video, and then you make a note of where it was that spot was that interesting thing happened, and then you basically tie those notes to the file somehow. Maybe you write it on a piece of paper and you're like, okay, well, 10 minutes in 5 seconds, here's a shot. Because then if you keep doing that and you build your episode, you're going to have to be self-aware and you're going to have to be smart. But if you build your episode that way, you won't have to comb through all of this footage. You'll be doing it live. Maybe it'll be a little bit harder, but then you won't have to comb through hours and hours and hours and hours of footage just to pick out what you want. It might take you longer while you're doing the process, but you'll save yourself like so much time. And think about it. If you do it that way, then when you get home, all you have to do is search for the timestamps associated with what videos, cut them, paste them together, you got an episode. It might be harder, like I said, to get all the shots you need, but still, you're saving. Then you can go out and do more. You can do more. You can go more places because you're saving time. And then, yeah, like that. So that's my theory on the best way to record a thrift shopping channel or a flea market channel or something like that, is to make the notes as you go. You don't want to have to, no matter what you're doing, you don't want to have to comb through 10 hours, 5 hours of footage. You want to do it all at once. So that's my suggestion. That's the only way I can get these videos out in a reasonable amount of time, is to now I am looking at the camera. You're not supposed to do that. Anyway, that's how I About to upgrade the car finally. You guys ready? Oh crap. I think it's okay. I think it just closed itself. I think we're okay though. It should have saved right after the race was over. So, that's my suggestion. Work smart, not hard. And if you do that, if you do something like that, you will surely save yourself time. I do the same thing with Can It Mario. I don't comb through hours of footage. I pay attention, and when something comes up that I like, I make sure everything's saved. I find what I like. I make a notation what the timestamp is on the video, and then I have it. I don't have to comb through all this for the best shots. Because I can tell. I'm smart. I can tell when there's a shot that's good. So it's good advice. You should do it that way if you can. Look at that. Car is fully upgraded. We completed a car on the channel. That's awesome. This is our Paris or whatever it's called. I'm happy. Let's work on another car. How far is that Mazda to being done, is my question. Mazda, it needs 7 days, 11 days, 3 days, and 6 days. That's a good while. Let's work on... Let's see, I have the 911 and then I have the Volkswagen as the other two. Let's work on the, let's work on the Volkswagen. I think. No, that's not right. Screw it. Let's work on the Mazda. Just because I'm stopping my play session soon, so I want to have one more race that's 5 minutes, and it then makes sense for me to do this race. So that's my you don't actually choose the races, they kind of show up randomly, which is kind of not fair, but it also is kind of like it's a good way to force you to break up the gameplay. So you're not doing just one race over and over, you're forced to do different types of races. And that's part of a good game, is giving you things and then also denying you certain things. Because if you deny somebody the right thing, it's now part of the gameplay. I mean, that makes sense, right? So that's another thing about the game. It forces you to, it gives you races randomly, which is why it takes me 2 seconds to pick out a race, because I don't have to comb through. I think for this game it makes sense. I think for most games it would not make sense, but this is an example where it does. Oops. That would have been like a 10 grand accident right there. This car got better. I feel like this car got a lot better after it got upgraded. It had incredible understeer, and now it feels more normal. So I think in this case it's a fun car. It's more fun upgraded. Sometimes you'll play a racing game, and it's very occasional, but you'll upgrade the car and it won't be better, it'll be worse. And that could be for a lot of reasons. It could be because it it might be impossible to handle. It might be too fast. You might want the car stock so that it's more authentic, especially if you're playing like a racing sim. A stock car might be exactly what you want. But yeah, so not every time is a car better if it's upgraded. Most of the time it is, but not always. A good example is the car I reviewed, the Cobra. It was crap if you over modified it, because it would just it was hard enough to control to begin with, and it would spin out. It would spin out if you in place, and it just was impossible to control through the turns. It would spin out in corners. It was basically impossible to. So that's an example of a car that was way better. Just keep it stock. Maybe make some upgrades, make it better, but don't upgrade it all the way, because then it's just going to be useless to you. And also, it's more authentic the more original it is, which will make it more fun. You know, it's an old car, so food for thought. Well, we beat the crap out of the timing that they wanted. I got like 45 seconds faster. Yeah, some absurd number. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I need to go to bed. But I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed this play session. I think I want to play more. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have other games in mind, so you know, I have a list of a few games that I think would be good. So I'm not sure yet, but maybe we will do more. This one came out really well, and I almost want to finish the bug, and I want to finish the Volkswagen Beetle. I want to finish, and I want to finish the 911. So maybe we'll come back. I'll try to finish those. The bug shouldn't be too hard to finish up. I think there's less upgrades. I mean, we can look right now. Real quick. Garage, Volkswagen Beetle. There's a lot of upgrades there. And then the Porsche. The Porsche has a fair amount of upgrades, so I would like to play more. I definitely wanted to show you guys this game because I figured no one's ever seen it, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So anyway, have a good one.